Hey man, call me Mister. The kick is good, even though like my kicker missed the field goal this week. Sadly,
I knew my Seahawks pick was looking kind of. I even texted. I was like, "Yo, Hoku missing?" Oh,
that was some bullshit. Cause I was mad. Cause I was like, some bullshit. How come when I pick the Dolphins, that nigga lose? Them them niggas lose. When I don't pick the Dolphins, them niggas win. This some bullshit.
on one, on one of them fuckers.
And then two is back next week, so I'm gonna pick their ass, and they finna lose. And I'm like, see, Paul, I just don't like y'all. I'm not picking y'all no more. I'm not picking against y'all or for y'all.
Ain't no
I'm
fucking guard,
passing.
no fucking guardian cap on my soldier, my
Hey,
general.
nah, that shit gonna piss me off. I'm telling you, just be ready for it right now, Paul. You know, I'm gonna come in here, Paul. I'm never picking you. I don't give a fuck if I'm giving up a game every week. Never picking with or against you niggas ever again. Fuck y'all. This nigga Tua gonna play with my emotions.
Shit. Well, overall, full week 7 recap. Let's get it pumping. Let's get it jumping. Fucking your ass. You complaining about the one or two losses, but your ass actually did really good on the week, relatively compared. Not as good as we did last week, but you did way better than I did this week.
I mean, see, look, it's the fact that like I don't get mad at these. I don't get too lit off of these weeks because like I did pick three dogs: the Chiefs, the Giants, and the Dolphins. But like for the most of the fact, they're just like favorites, and like there weren't any too many. There weren't as many 50-50 games, but there were a lot of games I was like, fuck, like these niggas don't lock in. Paul's gonna be looking at me quite stupid on Tuesday.
Nah, bro, there is the 50-50 games. I like not all of them, but the some of the ones were split on by some. I mean, two of them were like legit ball games for the final. Like the Packers Texans. We'll get into that one, and we'll get into
The
the
whole game.
Vikings Lions. Like that was like that was a roller coaster. Teams switching momentum. Teams in the lead, like lead changing the last second kickoff to win the game. Like
Hell
those
yeah,
are
would have
those
been.
I'm okay with when I lose because I'm like, brother, I was on the right side of history for about like if that kick would have went a separate direction, I'm on the right side of history.
Ah man, ain't no such thing as a good loss in the NFL.
But let's jump into it. Week 7, we shit. I won't say it was as crazy as some other weeks because this is Kev. We talked on it last recap when I told you like the public went 7-0 or 9-0 against the books in the games. This week they went like 7-0 with the games that it was like once again it's like the public the past 3 weeks is like 27-3 on public bet, and it's just like when the fuck is Vegas gonna get their get back, or the public know is the public finally educated enough that they just gonna keep cooking?
No, I look at it as the favorites are E right now, but you know how we are, Paul. We're a podcast that believes in the law of averages. There are a lot of fucking dogs handling business earlier in that season. I think it's finally got to the part where like it's starting to it's starting to catch up.
No, but see, it's not just the dogs and a favorite. It's the amount of money put is a public bet is the moment 65% of the money on this game is on one side. Like think of it a balance beam. Typically games
Is
are
that
50
not
on bets
is
because but whenever a game has more than 65% of the money, typically those Vegas is wins because the public typically doesn't. So now you're telling me 20 out of 30 games 27 of them, the public had this much money on this side, and they won them. Like 27-3 is absolutely insane for the public to just keep winning. Like they could be taking
oh
the
wow.
three, the -3. It's the spread bet. Like Lions money line, what had like 90% of all the money on that whole game was on the Lions money line. So typically, that's a game Vegas would win because Vikings would win that game in 90. The Kyles of the world just lost that bet because everybody and their mama was on that bet. But for the
Yep.
fact like 30 bets, 27 of the public's won, like that's just like eventually Vegas is gonna get they get back, but like it's they cooking up something special. Like there's gonna be a week where it's just like everything we thought was gonna happen, this doesn't happen. This fucking this
That's funny. Hey, I appreciate you explaining that to me like an elementary school kid because I definitely did not know that.
yeah, no,
You
it's
kept
not
saying public bets, so I thought like everybody was betting on the favorite type shit.
yeah, typically that is how it is too, but like it's just under it's like the -9.5 by Commanders. Like that shit cashed. Fucking I will get into it the whole week, but yeah, the public is eating good right now.
Yeah, eating good. And Black Friday coming soon. First,
We
we got
got
to get the Halloween.
we got to start with the game that we were on the right side with. We were teetering. We were definitely teetering onto the other side. The London game, Jaguars winning 30 was it 32-16 and they double A score or some shit. Pulling up the game.
Them motherfuckers. So.
Yeah, 32-16. It was a ball game. Until like right before half. Then the Jags like turned it up. Brian Thomas Jr. once again another touchdown on the week. Like I feel like every week he's a wide receiver that's gonna score a touchdown. He's top 10 in yards. So like I was telling people earlier in the season, like that's the guy. And he's kind of eating. But yeah, the Jags take care of business. Doug Peterson lives to coach another day. The Jaguars defense looked pretty good in certain spots. The offense looked good in certain spots. Tank Bisbee, RB1, looking like with ETN being hurt, homeboy held it down. What do you have? 118 yards, 2 touchdowns. So yeah, right where the Jags want to be.
I mean, I seen a stat that said that like when Trevor Lawrence doesn't get sacked, the Jags win. They only have 2 wins, so we'll continue testing that. But it looks like this team, when they can block, they can find some opening. They can look like that team that came back from down 27 or 21 against the Chargers in the playoffs. Like they're looking like that team that we kept screaming was going to win this division. They can do that when they lock in and they block, and then the offense starts rolling. Trevor Lawrence showing he's not a bad guy. He has the weapons and he's utilizing them. But it's good to see them get a W, especially with how atrocious their defense is. So for their defense to only hold a team to 16, even though it was the
Great.
fucking Patriots. But if you think about it, they had 10 in the first in the first half, like second halfway through the second quarter. So they only held them boys to 6 in the second half. And they did it so bad they got Gerard Mayo going on the fucking media talking about this team is soft. Like they did something right. And they just gotta start stringing along W's.
Yeah, and at least you like Drake May's looking just as advertised. Like he's not looking bad. Like 2 touchdowns, 276 yards, 26 to 37. Y'all didn't get the win, but at least you can see like, oh yeah, we this looks like a guy. Like we might be able to build around this in the future.
Not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet.
It's still early, but I'm just saying, like compared to some other like first 2 starts,
Way, way better than Jacoby Brissett, I'll say that. And he definitely has the best 2 starts out of all of them. But that Jags defense is still atrocious. Let me see you work again next week. You did great your first game, and you handled business against a bad defense. But let me see what you're doing next game.
and let's get to the 1 o'clock slate. Back to our side of the pond. We opening up, Kev. This is just the first game on my list. The Seahawks beating the Falcons 34-14. Kirk Cousins throwing a couple interceptions.
3 to be exact.
Kenneth Walker, it was his birthday. Um, Getting himself on the scoring. I think he also had a receiving touchdown. Yeah, receiving and rushing touchdown on his birthday. Uh, this is just a side note. It was like Trevor Lawrence's birthday a couple weeks ago when he got his first win of this year, and then like Kenneth Walker. We might have to keep note of like birthday tabs. Like, oh, motherfucker's birthday. That team might be winning, or that motherfucker is at least scoring a touchdown.
Think about how lit shit is going to be after this game. He's bringing that energy to the field, and this was a tough game to watch. I'm not gonna lie. You know, my brother's a Seahawks fan, so I had to shoot Jet some bread. I had to shoot bread some. I had to shoot Jet some bread. Didn't even bet him. I just had to shoot him because he got beat that bad. I mean, it looked like a ball game early. I think we got the run game established. Usually, that kind of leads us into a rabbit hole of different offensive options, and we start cooking. But Kurt just had some struggles. He had some trouble. Definitely, there were some plays you wish you could get back, but I think it more as our defense. I was watching this, and the first half, Geno looked unstoppable. I'm like, this is crazy. Why does Geno Smith look this good? Why are we not getting the pass rush in there? Why aren't we? Why is Justin Simmons, Jesse Bates, and them boys doing a lot of fucking work right now? AJ Terrell. I'm not gonna say he was getting cooked, but he definitely was getting they was making plays on him. They weren't worried that he was there for real. So as a whole, I think I give our team like a D. We gotta lock in. We got the Bucks next week, so we gotta make sure we make it happen. But at least we're able to get our run game off and our own line spend the game motherfucking pushing it down their throat than versus getting run all over.
Yeah, it was a ball game up until I feel like the backbreaker was that fumble return touchdown. Um, and then
Just sucked.
after that was like a two possession game in the fourth quarter, which changes everything because it was like tick and tack, score, 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 and then they score and score back to back, and it was like, damn, now they up by two touchdowns fourth quarter, and then Kirk tries to play some hero ball and throws a couple interceptions in the like following back to back drives after that. It was like ball game out there, but you hit the nail on the head with the Gino was eating early. I think it's we might have to say like the Seahawks if they can protect Gino, because that was my whole take. Like y'all just don't have the pass rush to get to Gino, and Gino pretty much had a clean pocket this game, and Gino's also low key the number one pass. He's the passing leader in NFL right now. Like so, Jit is like throwing that thing.
Nah, that shit is crazy. But that's what happens when there's no pass rush, kid. You
Yeah,
got
yeah.
we went out to get Matthew Judon. I haven't seen too much of him. But like y'all gonna come and Kyle Pitts crazy whenever you get a chance. So
Look, Kyle Pitts top five is tight end right now. They said on the receiving leader. I just saw the
bro,
whole position. He's low key having a
I
nice.
was I was just at the motherfucking flag football game and they was talking about how they don't like the Falcons because they don't use Kyle Pitts. Because I remember Kyle Pitts went to UF.
Yeah,
So like, and I was like, bro, I promise you, like we be having him block and whenever we need him to catch, we catch him. What you mean?
Jit top five right now. I mean, Brock Bowers and George Kittle are definitely leading the field by a lot, but from one of our teams to another team, the Colts beating my Dolphins 16-10. Lack of offense all around on both sides of the ball. I mean, both sides of the field, or both teams are the fuck. It was one, two, three, four field goals in this game. Only two touchdowns. We got a touchdown early. We got Jonnu Smith, the tight end. He was eating. He had like five catches for like 60 yards, a touchdown. He was fucking. He even ran the ball at one point, I believe. And I was like, okay, like maybe we might look a little decent here. And like that was it. Like that whole first quarter was our whole offense. And after that, um, Tyreek and Waddle only getting one target. That's not going to win a game. I'm just going to say I just don't. Mike McDaniel with Tua, we were the best offense in the league last year. Mike McDaniel without Tua, I don't know if he's just not. I just don't think he's changing the scheme up. I think he's still trying to run this offense as if Tua's in the field and it's not. And like we had the worst offense by far, and the stretch without Tua, worst offense in the league, all the metrics. We couldn't even play good against this Colt defense. I'm just happy. Tua will be back. Tua said he's not rocking the Guardian cap. So, yeah, we're only what 2-4, but so are the Jets. We're technically not out of this right now. So that's how yeah, we take this L, but I would be more worried if I'm a Colts fan. Yeah, y'all got the win, but Anthony Richardson looked fucking terrible. Like he was like 1 for 7 at one point. Like the quarterback, yeah, 10 for 24, 129 yards passing. Once again, he just this passing offense has died when he has came in, and that's your future. At least with the Dolphins, we have our third straight. At one point, Tim Boyle was in this fucking ball game. Yeah, I'm okay with this L. If I'm a Colts fan, y'all are scraping by with all y'all starters. That's not good.
Yeah, and y'all paid a lot of those starters a lot of good dollars. But this game was over. I just looked at this game like you y'all were able to make Anthony Richardson struggle early, and she just couldn't keep that consistency. Like this is a decent defense, but then they have hitters, but
No,
they just couldn't do shit. Like once they got the 10 points, and I'm just watching them slowly chip it away. They tie it up to 10, and then the Colts go 16. I'm like, oh, it's over. Like this offense cannot get down the field and score for nothing. The only way we have a better chance of expecting the defense to score a special teams because this offense is out of sync. And I agree with you. I think it's because like Michael Daniels just doesn't switch up the game plan, and that's kind of Cause White consistently gets he's known for getting figured out halfway through the season type shit. Maybe that's the case, and if that is, we're seeing it in real life at all times.
Yeah, and the worst part of it all, like everyone saw that our quarterback got hurt again. Huntley leaving the game. Tim Boyle came in. Fucking no one's talking about how Chop Robinson, our rookie, got hurt this game, and we legitimately have no more pass rushers. There was no more D ends in the game. There was just defensive tackles and linebackers left at the D end position.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we legitimately had no pass rusher left on the depth chart. So like no one's talking about that side of the ball there. But yeah, that's another glaring issue. Jalen Phillips is gone for the season. Chop Robinson looking like he might be gone for the season too now. Calais Campbell, old ass, is going to be really holding down our O line. I mean our D line.
That's crazy. He did not expect that. He should have signed a bigger contract.
Then
We
on to
need
the
him
game.
on the Falcons right now.
Yeah, on to the game that doesn't involve our teams. We have the Bills blowing out the Titans. This was a ball game.
Yeah, I was about to say, hold on.
Yeah, this was 10-7 at halftime, and I'm not going. I was getting a little shaky. I was like,
Yeah, the
like,
Bills are on some bullshit, kid.
and I go and peep, and it's like I see Mason Rudolph got the start, and I was like, like this is why I'm fucking losing. And I thought Will Levis was fucking attached to this game, and
I th-
like
I
rocking.
I think he had like I think this man had like 215 yards and 2 touchdowns.
215 and one, but he had like 150 before half, and I was sitting there like, oh,
That's crazy. And
Mason
that
Rudolph
DK catch
really just
was
changed
insane.
his whole offense.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, this just showed that like Will Levis is not that dude. But it's also showed me that the Bills are just gonna play close games for no reason for anybody. And Amari Cooper just got there, but they still don't have that explosive play capability on any basis. But I think it's insane because you have somebody with Josh Allen's arm talent.
Well, I will give credit because I will hate on Keon Coleman, but he looked like he could be the big play guy because he caught that 57 yarder, by far the deepest pass of I think of the year for Josh Allen, and he ended the game 4 catches, 125 yards. But like Keon Coleman, like they were trying to figure out what he's not a speedster, he's not the best route runner, he's not like your red zone guy, he's not creating separation. But they found, at least with this game, they found a use for him because he's had like duds all season. Maybe this is a one-off, but Keon Coleman with that the 4 catches was big. And then Amari Cooper, I don't know if you saw, but when he scored the touchdown, he didn't even know what route he was running. He
That's crazy.
looks over to, I believe, Keon Coleman. He looks over to another receiver, could have been Shakur, and Shakur literally is like lined up next to him, and like you see Amari like look over to his left towards him, like what the fuck am I supposed? And Shakur goes like up at like a post, like with his hand real quick, and then Amari just turns, and then they hike it, and that's the fucking post route down the middle, catches touchdown in the end zone, and it's like. Bruh, like motherfucker didn't even know the playbook, and he was already like established into the game. Like that, like wait till Amari Cooper come week 12, 13, 14, like playoff. The people were saying that, oh, he's washed, he's done. I know Alex is one of them, but Amari Cooper is like, he had like 1,200 yards last season quietly with
Didn't he
Deshaun.
have like a 200-yard game last year?
Yeah, with Joe Flacco. Like once he got I mean, we see what Flacco was doing to Anthony Richardson players, and Anthony Richardson got hurt. So like him with Josh Allen. I mean, I'm just saying, like Amari Cooper, I have him in fantasy, and I'm so happy he got out of the clinches of the Browns.
Yeah, it's a shit show over there, but we could talk about them in a little bit.
Yeah,
The
they're coming down the list.
no facts. Yeah, I mean the Bills just need to keep balling. They need to keep winning these games that they're supposed to win. And the Titans kind of fucked, but
Yeah,
they
one,
already knew that.
yeah, you're 1-5, and you got a lot of holes. Next game, Packers beating the Texans 24-22. This is the game I said came down to the wire, literally down to the wire. Brandon McManus 45-yard field goal. No time left on the clock. Packers win this game. Uh, CJ Stroud was in a box this whole game.
What is it, like 86 yards, 10 for 21?
Yeah, exactly.
That shit is crazy. But you know what's even crazy to me? They could have won this game.
This is the, yeah, like Joe Mixon had a great game. The defense, like Jordan Love throwing the early interceptions, which sets up the scoring drives for the Texans, and then one of the touchdown to Tucker Kraft went through the hands of the DB. Like the
Yeah,
DB,
that shit was.
one of the pages posted that video saying Jordan Love is the most accurate passer in NFL. He's squeezing it into the tightest windows. Look at this pass here, and he shows that. And then the DB himself that didn't catch the ball goes, most accurate pass. That shit went right through my hands. Like, but that bitch went there. Like that's what I was telling you on the picks. I was like, he just be fucking squeezing them into the windows where like that could be a bad play, but then that shit works out as a touchdown and looks fucking beautiful.
Nah, facts. And he's just like a very much Russell Westbrook esque. But you can kind of outcoach that. You can hopefully they could coach that out of him.
They
But
said they had Aaron Rodgers with the halo on one side that said like don't throw that, and then they had Brett Favre with the demon horns on the other side of his shoulder and said zip that motherfucker in there or some shit. And it was like that's the most accurate description of Jordan Love. You got Aaron Rodgers on half the play, and you got Brett Favre on the other half.
I mean, I respect it. I think they're gonna continue playing well and limit their turn. They just have to limit those turnovers because that's gonna be a problem later. But as much as I want to give hella respect to the Packers offense, the Packers defense held CJ Stroud to 86 yards. Yes, Joe Mixon got eaten, but their defense was relentless. They stayed on everybody. They were in coverage. And anytime they came to the red zone, I'm looking like, damn.
Yeah, and Xavier McKinney, he didn't get the interception this week, but he got a sack this week. And like it's just the fact that it's similar to when Bates was in the conversation and Kyle Hamilton. It's like this motherfucker's doing everything. He's getting sacks, interceptions, fumbles. He's definitely gonna be in the conversation for like defensive play, at least on track with how he's hooping right now.
Jit is hooping right now. And you know they love to get that defensive player to anybody that has like 10 kicks or something.
You know, defensive end wins it so many times. You just need a really good story at a different position to really get it.
Uh,
Then we had a blowout divisional rival. I gave the G men too much credit. The Eagles beating the shit out of the New York Giants, 28-3. Saquon had his best day in the MetLife Stadium with 176 rushing yards, but it happened to be on the Philadelphia Eagles against the Giants, which is just fucking revenge game check. Like I try to talk myself out of it. This is a Giants revenge game. Nah, like Saquon and them boys. The O line, it was 176 rushing yards, Kev. And I want to say it was like 143 came before contact.
facts. They were getting the boys up out of there.
Fucking mauling through them boys. And like Jalen Hurts didn't have to do much. Like Devontae Adams, not Devontae Smith got one target that game. AJ Brown gets the other couple targets, and one of them is like the deep shot over the top touchdown, which was AJ Brown is top 3 guy in the league.
He's him and a half.
Yeah, like this was the Eagles offense that they can quiet, like Nick Sirianni can start quieting the buzz around his hot seat.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you keep on winning. But this Browns team that they no, not the Browns, the Giants team that they played just looks so stupid. And then all the I couldn't even tell you what Daniel Jones did in this game because
Uh,
all they talked about was how Tom Telesco and the boys were idiots. No, Tom Telesco isn't. Yeah, it might be Tom Telesco. But them boys were idiots for letting Saquon walk. You couldn't pay him 13 mil, which you could pay Daniel Jones 40. So I know it felt good for Saquon to run all over them boys like that. And me as an owner of Saquon and fantasy, I enjoyed every second.
and then we had the battle, the best battle. This game I said should have been on prime time. Vikings versus Lions. Lions winning 31-29. And once again, 15 seconds on the clock. Jesse Bates, 44-yard field goal to take the lead. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought the Vikings were gonna win this game, especially after the fumble recovery touchdown by the defense, and then the Vikings get the ball again with some. They could kill the clock. They don't get the first down. Lions get the ball back. Jahmyr Gibbs on like a fucking flat takes that bitch like 30 yards. The offense is rolling, and the Lions kick the game-winning field goal. But this was a battle. Like this was, I can't say two separate halves, but there's momentum. This is almost like a basketball game. Like one team had all the momentum at one point, another team gets all the momentum, score and score, score. Defense is shutting down. It was just like this is perfect ball game. It looks like a lot of offense because it was, but like the defense was definitely involved. Like Sam Darnold was getting sacked. The fumble by the Vikings defense. Yeah, like this was a ball game.
Yeah, I think the defense started off the this game started off cracking off top, just off the face that this both these defense Brian Flores' defense was giving Jared Goff trouble early. They come up to a 10-0 lead, and then they figure it out. They lock in. I think I seen a stat that like in this game under pressure, Jared Goff like 10 for 11. Like he wasn't ready about the blitz. He was ready to pick the hole through the defense, and nothing does that better than having a running back like Jahmyr Gibbs to get like 100, I forgot how much it was, 100, 180 touchdown.
Yeah, the
On
160 yards scrimmage wise, 116 on the ground and 44 over the air.
and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns.
That doesn't help when that boy opens that thing up for you like that. But in a sense, this team still showed that without without Aiden Hutchinson, that's a problem. Even though they still were able to get pass rushing, they would still be able to go. I don't think this Vikings team makes that comeback and makes this game close. They definitely don't take the lead if Aiden Hutchinson's in there just tearing apart Sam Donald every chance he gets.
I will say Andrew Van Ginkel, former Dolphin that used to be killing shit for the Dolphins. We let him walk. He goes to the Vikings. He like no one's talking about him, but he's also having that type of like crazy year. He got 2 sacks on Jared Goff this game. Um, we also had a pick six against Aaron Rodgers like last week or 2 weeks ago. But yeah, he had a great game. But yeah, I agree with you. And Kev, my Jared Goff MVP bet is alive after like these past
Oh,
3. That's all everyone's talking about. I'm like, oh fucking, is Jared Goff the MVP right now?
alive and well, I don't think he's gonna end up doing better than Lamar, but they
Yeah,
might hold my boy. They might hold my boy because they don't want to pick the same guy every year.
that's what this guy's hoping for. I'm like, bro, they might just hit him with the old, yeah, you did better than your MVP seasons, but we gotta switch it up this year.
Crazy. But yeah, shout out the Lions for not giving up either. They saw adversity, they stood in the face, and they made some crazy plays. Like that Amon-Ra St. Brown touchdown, I probably seen like at least 8 to 13 times.
They don't get old.
Facts.
Then we had my other lock here. Oh, shout out Kev. I didn't say it. Kev went 1-1 on his locks. We just covered the Packers as one of his locks, and we'll get to his other lock later. But my other lock here that actually cashed for me, the Bengals winning 21-14 against the Browns. Joe Burrow got the monkey off his back with not being able to beat Cleveland, and Cleveland got that done. Deshaun Watson tearing his ACL. He's done for the season, and I'm not gonna lie, like prayers for Deshaun Watson. Hopefully he gets better, all that. But there was a part of me, Kev, that was scared. The moment Deshaun Watson got hurt, and I knew the backups were coming in, I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like, and then like Nick Chubb was in the game, like he got the early touchdown, and like they like made sure he got that touchdown and shit. Like I was like, "Oh, are the Browns about to do some Brown X shit and have the backup come in and cook?" But that wasn't the case. Unfortunately, the backup gets hurt, and then Jameis Winston, who I didn't know was the third string on the Browns, comes in and scores a touchdown late in the fourth. But game over. Bengals beating the Browns 21-14. Kev, not the most exciting game. But what are your thoughts here?
Oh man, I mean, if the Bengals don't score the off like opening kickoff, they look abysmal on first half. Like that offense was not rolling even a little bit, but they did enough to get the W.
And how do you feel about Winston being probably going to be the starter for the rest of the year now?
I mean, him at the emergency quarterback, I thought was crazy. He definitely should have been the backup. And when what's his name? The Jit with 2 last names?
Like People Jones, DPJ. I thought I didn't know if you were
Yeah,
going. Yeah.
yeah. I think if DPJ was a thing earlier, they probably could have picked up steam. But
Oh no, Dorian Thompson Robinson, DTR. That's what they call him, DTR.
mm, They probably could have picked up some steam, but he was trying to do his thing. He was scrambling like a motherfucker. But the Bengals still did not look good. And that's the second week in a row. I feel like it's been like that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Winston probably gets because DTR came in and threw 2 interceptions in his like short stint. So then if Winston comes in, I don't know, bro. This, but the way the Bengals are playing, they probably shouldn't have won this game, but they squeaked it out. Then we had the blowout here, which actually came with big ramifications. Commanders beating the Panthers 40-7. I mean, Marcus Jaden Daniels getting hurt halfway through the game. Mariota comes in and continues the ass whooping. He takes off right where Jaden Daniels left off. But the bigger implication here is two things actually. One, Jaden Daniels' rib injury. He will not play next week. Hopefully, he'll be back soon. But Jaden Daniels is going to miss at least one game with his rib injury he got in this game. And Andy Dalton, he didn't get hurt this game, but literally about 5 hours ago, it was reported Andy Dalton got in a car accident. He should be okay, but he is, I don't know. Like Bryce Young could potentially be the starter next week because of the Dalton car accident, but that's all I get.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he got in a car accident literally like 5 hours ago. So like all that news is still circulating. He should be fine, but I don't know. There's hasn't been much news. But yeah, so that happened literally a couple hours ago, and then Jaden Daniels potentially fractured rib. He's gonna miss at least 1 week. What did you think of the? Well, what do you think of the ball game? It wasn't really a ball game; it was a blowout, 40-6. But also the injury news, I think, is the bigger out of the two.
I mean, this just showed that Andy Dalton, they pulled up and they played well against the Raiders when they beat them boys. But it was a one time, one thing. Like these last few games, he's looked bad. He doesn't look any better. He's losing weapons with Chris Olave getting hurt. They're shopping Alvin Kamara. Like this is definitely a team that I don't know if they're rebuilding, but they gotta catch what the vibe is ASAP.
I don't know. And then Commanders 40. Marcus Mariota looked pretty good too, so they might be able to squeak another win without Jaden Daniels in the next couple games. Then we had the Rams beating the Raiders 20-15. Honestly, neither team deserved to win this game. They both played pretty bad, but the Rams defense, well, 4 turnovers forced, 3 interceptions, 1 fumble, all by Gardner Minshew. Right? Every turnover from Gardner. Aiden O'Connell, I think he broke his finger. He's gonna be gone for the next couple of weeks, so it's gonna be the Gardner show all over again. But like, if this is the best the Rams got to look, I know they don't have Cooper Kupp yet, but y'all are playing the fucking Raiders, and y'all could have only put up 20, and your defense forced 4 fucking turnovers. There's rumors that Matthew Stafford may be getting traded off the Rams. Like, so that could tell you what the Rams think of their future for the rest of the season. That's all rumors, but they said it's very real rumors that Stafford and Cooper, they've already shopped Cooper Kupp. So could be a brand new Rams team come trade deadline if they continue this half-ass football.
Mm, yeah, because they got the GM to do it too.
Because imagine what if they're you got 2 wins right now, but if they go 2-7 by trade deadline, you might have to legitimately trade Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford. Start building for something because this is the same team for the next few years, and they're not looking good right now. And on the flip side, the Raiders are in no man land. They're going to be on the we can't bet this team list because they're dead.
Facts, facts. Leave them boys at home, kid. But yeah, the Rams. You want to blame it on Cooper Kupp didn't play, but Matthew Stafford. Mm, this might not be the year. Maybe my NFC Championship take is cold, but yeah, you can't even shout out nothing about this game. This is really like the Raiders just played way worse because of all these turnovers and huge mistakes.
And then we got the Chiefs remaining undefeated. Kev, I should have understood it was off a bye week. They don't lose, but 6-0. They beat the fucking 49ers. Another game where both offenses, I think, were just at least the quarterback play was god awful. Brock Purdy throws 3 interceptions. Patrick Mahomes throws 2 interceptions. Kareem Hunt is so happy to be back in Kansas City. Brandon Ayuk torn ACL, torn MCL. Brandon Ayuk is done for the season. Debo Samuel.
Fuck.
Debo tried to play with his illness. He played 3 snaps. He goes to the hospital. Find out he has pneumonia in his lungs. He might be out for a couple of weeks. They said their most healthy receiver just got shot 50 days ago in Ricky Pearsall. So that's what the 49ers are dealing with right now with offensive woes and injuries. No reason why they should have lost this game. Brock Purdy throwing 3 interceptions probably is enough. But yeah, like Mahomes throws 2, Purdy throws 3. Defenses play great. How do you feel about this Kansas City squad rolling into San Fran?
I mean, they came in ready to do whatever fuck it took to win the game. They came in knowing that their defense had to play fucking well, and they made Brock Purdy look less than human. Probably one of the worst games he's played all year. And Pat Mahomes, you gotta love him. The way that he was running, getting shifty, running shit, and then he ran over that boy in the end zone. I don't know if that was a 2 point conversion or a touchdown. But he literally just went head up with that defender and just little boy his ass, sit your stupid ass down. So this was a great win for the Chiefs. They definitely were. Everybody, we're still saying the same thing. This isn't their like. If this is, they offense could be doing better, but at the moment they're stringing along these wins and they still have yet to be beat.
And Mahomes hasn't thrown a touchdown in 2 weeks. His last touchdown was 3 games ago against the Chargers.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he has 6 passing touchdowns and 8 interceptions on the year. He,
Crazy.
yeah, like, but what people are saying is, if you go look on all your betting websites right now, Patrick Mahomes is the betting favorite to win the Super Bowl, not the Super Bowl, to win the MVP, even though he has negative turnover ratio. They are winning though. It's a team effort. That's why they say it's a team game. Right? Motherfucker has 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and they're
I,
winning multiple touchdowns in almost every game.
I think it's one of those teams that just comes back down to coaching because like it's not just Andy Reid. Like the shit that Steve Coach Spagnuolo is doing over there on the defensive side is legendary. Like he's really, bro. They made Derrick Henry look human first game, and you've seen what Derrick Henry's done to every other team since.
No, that's facts. And they played like 80% of the team in man coverage or something. Like they just like complete like apparently Brock Purdy doesn't do good against man or whatever. So they just played like they just game plan so good for the opposing offenses. Then we had the prime time. Oh, and that was your dog, Kev. That was Kev's dog. He hit on that one. Once again, Kev 4-3 on his dogs. I am 1-6. Thanks to the primetime game. The Steelers beating the shit out of the Jets, Kev, 37-15. You try to get me to sign off on this bullshit ass Jets team. I wasn't going for that. I tried to tell you this Steelers defense was gonna put them boys in the locker. TJ Watt didn't have a crazy game like I thought he would, but that boy a beanie baby, that boy a beanie. 2 interceptions, motherfucker was all over the field. I know 1 interception, Garrett Wilson literally hit him in the chest, popped up, but still like. And Russell Wilson looked fucking good. I'll be the one like motherfucker. That moon ball's still working. What are your thoughts on your New York Jets getting blown out here?
That shit was tragic, kid. Cause like their offense, there are two things I hate is when a quarterback gets sacked twice on one drive, twice on one set of 3 downs. Like that's crazy. And offense couldn't block for none.
See,
Garrett Wilson,
they have a top 10 offensive line blocking and all the metrics, PFF, ATV, every metrics across the board. They have a top 10 O line.
bro, I don't see it, Paul. I'm telling you. Anytime they pop up in my red zone, it doesn't look good.
He only got sacked once this game, and it was in like the very first drive, and that was it. He didn't get no other sacks.
Hey, I was watching that drive, but for more than anything, like I was, it was their game until that first interception to Garrett Wilson. I think when they threw that interception, going to halftime, let the Steelers. I can't remember if they tied it up or took the lead.
They took the lead with after that.
And they never let that shit go after that. They put the foot on the gas. But I am not in here to. I can respect the Steelers, who had a great, phenomenal win. They're 5-2. They're a good team, but I'm not here to be like I was wrong about Russell Wilson. No, bro. Bro, the amount of 50-50 passes they threw up, I will say he did play better than Justin Fields, but they threw up 50-50 balls and they were coming down with him. I really got to respect these receivers. Pat Fryer was getting these one-handers. Motherfucking George Pickens doing all types of crazy shit. I think there was one play bounced off of him, defender bounced off him again, and then he caught it.
Oh yeah, no, it bounced off the defender. He caught it and then lost that bitch and then re-caught that bitch again. That bitch was tough. That was like whoa, but like that's what everyone was saying you can do with George Pickens. Everyone said like this is a legit wide receiver one. Like, and what do you do with wide receiver ones? You trust them on that 50-50 deep ball. And Justin Fields wouldn't do it. Or no, Justin Fields did try, but he just wasn't accurate. His shit would just fly out of bounds. Whereas Russell Wilson, even the one that wasn't complete, it was defensive pass interference. And like that's why you throw your moon balls is because the ball's up in the air. Even if your guy don't catch it, sometimes the defender plays the ball wrong, hits and that shit. That's what he's known for. And I would say everything else was not working with Russell. Like he kept doing this little play action bootleg and he kept throwing it for like 1 yard to the tight end. I'm like, bro, that shit ain't going nowhere. And then the yards for the running game, that shit didn't happen until the fourth quarter. So you can't be like, yeah, they were running really good. Like, nah, like the run game really kicked it up a notch in the fourth quarter when they were trying to like ice it out. And then Najee started really, and Warren started running down people's necks. But I really do think like that the defense played a good game. I just don't know what the Jets second half died. There was no like you said like yeah the after the pick they didn't do much. They didn't do nothing. They didn't score a fucking point after that pick. They didn't score anything coming the second half. Um, I I they're a weird case study though because I can't pinpoint what the issue is. I can't be like if this guy played better, they win, and like because I don't think Aaron Rodgers played a bad game. That interception bounced off Garrett Wilson's chest. Like that's not on him. Um, he only got sacked once, so it wasn't like he was doing too much in the pocket. The run game probably didn't work that well, but Breece Hall was eating in the. They were just setting up like screens for him, and he was eating off of the short passes when the run game was like things working for the Jets. They just might really be hurt. Like,
Yeah,
maybe y'all just try to cheat the system. The football gods wasn't going for that.
yeah, and the Devontae Adams thing, I think over time it's gonna look cool and better. But his best. I was telling the boys at the field, I was like, his best play this week was a touchdown, was a tackle that saved the game, saved the touch, saved it from a pick six. That was his play of the game.
Yeah, no. And this was my Super Bowl pick last year. I'm happy I didn't rock with them this year. And their defense wouldn't have let this happen last year. It's not the same defense, and people are slowly starting to see that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. And shout out the Steelers because they're winning these games doing exactly what they said they did. This game, it was usually 14. This game it was 15. But it's on the offense. As long as you score and do your thing, we got it over here.
And it was still two. I don't know if you saw, but this is where Mike Tomlin's wanted to go. There was, Aaron Rodgers loves when 12 men are on the field. He gets that extra free play. It's half the time that bitch is a touchdown or a deep completion.
All right.
He he's hurrying up the offense. They're two possessions. There's still like 5 minutes in the game. Score here, play some defense, get ball. He's hurrying it up. He's noticed his 12 people on the field. And as soon as he's trying to hike the ball, the ref's telling him, no, the Pittsburgh already called a timeout. And the camera pans over to Tomlin, and Tomlin's like, yep. It just nods at Aaron Rodgers like, you ain't going to catch me on that shit, motherfucker. And I was like, damn, yeah, Mike Tomlin's a gangster. Then we had our Monday night games, Kev. We had a doubleheader. One was an ass whooping, and they tried to come back. But the Ravens 41-31.
Fucked them up.
Yeah, this was 34-10 in the fourth quarter, and then Baker started like fourth quarter. They start playing some hero ball coming back, but because of that, Mike Evans is probably going to be gone for the season with a hamstring injury. Maybe not the whole season, but at least 4 weeks. And Chris Godwin, dislocated ankle, looked like a broken ankle. He's gone for the season. They just lost their top two targets. They lost Mike Evans, who's like top 3 in touchdowns. They lost Chris Godwin, top 3 in yards. This is gonna be a completely different team moving forward. I know y'all have them up deck next week, so I know you're not happy about injuries, but like divisional shit, you're probably like, yeah, like, much rather play y'all without your top 2 fucking Ferraris. So, but yeah, Kyle said it best, or someone said it. Is y'all season's done? And even Alex is like, "Yep, our season's done, over with now." So I was like, "Damn, that bad out there for the Bucks." How did you feel about Lamar, 5 TD, and then the injuries on the Tampa Bay?
I mean, 5 TDs is insane. And this is another week they put up massive numbers, 41 points. Their offense is rolling. The Derrick Henry touchdown anytime. Just take the 350. It's worth it.
Yeah, I honestly cashed good on this game because at a certain point, it was like 10 minutes before kickoff, Kev. I literally like, I told myself I'm not going to bet on these games, but Lamar Jackson doesn't lose to NFC opponents. That's a free fucking bet. And I took it, and I bet cash. I was like, yeah, 23-1.
2021. Nice. I mean, Lamar balling, man. And the way they got Mark Andrews involved, that was cool. I'm trying to think of what the defense did. I can't think of any memorable plays on the defense.
I think Baker threw 2 interceptions early. He didn't throw any in the second half.
Oh, I was watching. I didn't watch this. Yeah.
Yeah, Baker threw a couple interceptions early. That was the issue. Yeah.
That's what the play I saw. I was watching these motherfuckers. I saw the Mike Evans touchdown. I was also doing laundry at the same time. Don't ask me how much laundry I had to fucking do, Paul. But I was doing the laundry at the same time as this, and I saw the Mike Evans touchdown. I was so upset, but then I seen them boys start picking back up and doing their thing.
Yeah, and Derrick Henry's leading the league in rushing yards, 169 on 15 carries this
game. Wow.
Yeah.
Gang tackle. Stop trying to tackle one-on-one. But all out.
Yeah, the Ravens are looking like that squad right now in the AFC. Like they're not undefeated like the Chiefs, but they definitely have the best offense in the league right
now. Yeah.
Then this game we thought was gonna have some points to it. We thought it was gonna be interesting, Kev. But like I said, this should not have been a primetime game. Cardinals beat the Chargers 17-15. Another walk-off field goal. We had like 3 walk-off field goals this week. Chad Ryland, 32-yard field goal as time expires. They win this game. Another case where they scored, but there was too much time on the clock. When I saw 2 minutes left, I just had that gut feeling when they kicked that field goal. I'm like, damn, there's 1:55 left on the clock. Cardinals haven't done shit on all game. But this is going to be the drive where they're going to at least get like 40 yards to get set up a field goal. And of course, that's what ends up happening here. They do get, I think, a defensive pass interference that kind of helps them out along the way. But the combination of Chargers shooting themselves in the foot with a couple turnovers. I mean, if you look at the stats, Herbert had like 350 yards. You would have thought this offense was like killing shit, but that wasn't the case. It was just like stalled out drive that, and whenever you did get to the red zone, y'all kicked nothing but field goals.
See, I missed this game.
Everybody died. Carol, he choked it up.
No, literally. But I definitely missed this game because I was locked in crazy with the Manning guys. I was just so mad that they fucking got walked down. I was like, bro, this motherfucker threw for 145 yards. How you let him do that to you at the end of the game?
I'm not mad with the decision. Like, I'm not mad with the loss because of, like, I felt like they could have won that game if they were just tying up on that one defensive fucking stand there. But it is what it is. And I didn't even realize until they brought it up on they brought it up on what the fuck they said it somewhere. It was like from one hardball game to another hardball game, and I didn't realize both hardballs were playing Monday Night Football with the Ravens
on purpose.
I have no idea, but I was like, oh shit, because they're like, yeah, from one hardball game to another hardball game. I was like, oh yeah, Jim and John both were coaching last night.
That'd be fun. That's kind of fun.
And the Cardinals, they're scrappy, 3-4. I mean, they're gonna be that fun 500 team that might not make the playoffs, but they might be the team that knocks another team out of the playoffs. Like, oh, y'all thought our season was over, so we weren't gonna play this last week of the season. Nah, we're gonna make sure we're gonna beat the Seahawks, so the Seahawks don't make it this year.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you, Carlos.
Whatever the Seahawks ever do to you.
But if you could see my cat standing straight up right now, you would understand the face I just made.
No, but it was a good weekend of football. Once again, if y'all weren't here for the beginning, Kev locking it down with this week 11-5 to my 8-7 on the full week picks. He takes the lead with 4 wins to my 2 with the 1 draw. I think back in week 3 we tied it up. And then on the locks, we both went 1-1. Kev, your Packers held it down. Your Jets. And then on the flip side, my Vikings, man, my Vikings. And then the Bengals held it down. And on the dog, Kev, for once, me and you both hit our dogs in the same week. You get the Chiefs, I get the Steelers. Not a bad week looking at everything.
Are you sure it was 11-5? Or was he 4 losses on my paper?
You took the Chargers, the Jets,
Jets, Dolphins, Falcons.
Dolphins, Falcons. And then on, let me see. Maybe did I miss count? I'm going down. Chargers, Jets. All right, no mind. You might be right. And then Thursday you had the Broncos, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then my bad. You were 12-4. Good catch. Yeah, I must have added one for the Thursday game on accident. Overall, Kev, dominating win. Apologize. 12-4 this week. But as always, we appreciate y'all, everyone for watching. Broke down NFL Week 7 for y'all boys. Go down, like, subscribe, comment what y'all thought about Week 7. As always, I'm Paul Pick'em Win'em, Kev, Waterboy Savoy. And if y'all didn't know,